Hi everyone. Today we will explore an essential skill that plays a crucial role in decision making, problem solving, and everyday life, which is critical thinking. Critical thinking is the ability to analyze, interpret, evaluate, and make reasoned decisions based on information. Instead of just accepting information at face value, critical thinkers question, examine, and assess the credibility of what they encounter. Some fundamental aspects of critical thinking include questioning, reasoning, evidence based thinking, perspective, decision making, and problem solving. Critical thinking is important because it enhances decision making and problem solving skills, helps reduce biases and fosters objective thinking, and as well as improve communication and collaboration in various fields. Hence, our discussion question are: if you had to challenge one key idea from this chapter, what would it be and why? How would you propose an alternative perspective? This question encourages us to think critically about the very concept of critical thinking itself. With that, I will now pass it over to my teammates who will continue discussing the key points in more detail.
Good day, everyone. My name is Wong Yuan. Logic is a powerful tool. It helps us solve problems, make decisions, and analyze situations. But what happens when we rely on it too much? There's 2 points, which is absence of feeling and less inventivity. So the first point I will gonna explain. Opposite logic can weaken human connection. Imagine you working in a team where emotional don't matter, just fact, collaboration suffers, and relation feel robotic. People need understanding, not just analyze. Second, which is less inventivity. Too much too much logic can kill creativity. And from Apple inside theory were driven by imagination. So the meaning of the brain is harmony. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today we often heard about the importance of emotional intelligence in teamwork, business success, and what if I told you that emotional intelligence could actually be a bad thing? Yes, emotions are essentials, but also overemphasis them can sometimes blur our objective, weaken our competitive edge. So for the dismiss objectives, imagine a leader who values emotional harmony over logic. They might be hesitate to make a difficult decisions because they fear hurting someone's feelings. Emotional intelligence teaches to be empathetic, but what if the empathy clouds our judgments? So for example, in a competitive setting, a manager may avoid firing an underperforming employee simply because they emphasize their struggles. So that's what I experienced from the intern that I have done in my diploma. While this sounds compassionate, it ultimately harms the company and the moral of the employees. So critical thinking demands a balance where emotions inform our decisions but not indicate them. That's all from my presentation. Thank you.
When one focuses too much on emotional intelligence, it can lead to problems such as emotional contagion, which is emotional overload as they catch emotions from others very easily and unconsciously. And when this happens, it can lead to constant stress and will then affect their thinking and decisions, as they struggle to separate their own personal feelings from facts. Next, they will feel empathy towards others, thus focusing on prioritizing on protecting others' emotions, so making it hard for them to address the issues as they want to maintain a harmony space. Sometimes this will also cause conflicts because of not communicating the problems with others, which may then lead to having a broken relationships as there are too many misunderstandings.
The challenges of over relying on logic in decision making. Critical thinking emphasizes logical reasoning, evidence, and rational analysis. It often overlooks the importance of emotional intelligence. For instance, decisions made purely on logic may lack empathy, resulting in outcomes that are technically correct but emotionally insensitive. For example, a manager might decide to cut costs by laying off employees based on financial data alone, without considering the emotional and social impact on the team. This can lead to decreased morale and productivity. Effective communication is also a key component to critical thinking as it requires more than just logical reasoning. Emotional intelligence is essential for connecting with others, understanding their perspective, and responding appropriately. When communication is overly focused on logic, it may come across as cold or impersonal, failing to resonate emotionally with the audience.
We often assume that logic alone can solve all problems, but real-world situations are far more complex. Ethical dilemmas, emotions, and uncertainty often challenge purely rational decision-making. For example, in medical ethics, imagine a doctor who has only one ventilator but two critically ill patients. Who should receive treatment? A strict logical approach might prioritize the patient with the highest survival chance, but emotionally and ethically, it is not that simple. The doctor must consider factors like long-term impact, fairness, and even the emotional toll on families. Similarly, in crisis management, logical solutions may not always be effective. In conflict resolution, simply presenting facts won't resolve deep personal disagreement. Empathy and understanding are crucial. The real world is messy and decisions often involve more than just logic.
Hi, good evening, Miss Kamal and Miss Lily. Today I'll be presenting about limited recognition of emotional intelligence. If I had to challenge one of the key ideas from chapter 1, I will propose an alternative perspective as focused on the assumption that critical thinking is purely logical and rational, with limited recognitions of emotions and emotional intelligence. Emotions and emotional intelligence in critical thinking. Firstly, emotional intelligence improves decisions making. Understanding one's own emotions and those of others can help in negotiations, ethical reasoning, and teamwork. Critical thinking should not only focus on logic but also incorporate emotional awareness and regulations to ensure well-rounded, ethical, and human-centered decision making. For instance, a critical thinker who ignores emotions might make decisions that are rational but lack of empathy or social awareness. I'll be passed to the next presenter.
Greetings, my name is Karkit, and today I will briefly highlight how emotional intelligence plays a crucial role in decision making and conflict resolution. Firstly, is that it enhances problem solving abilities. Emotional intelligence helps us manage stress and think rationally, which leads to better decision making. Instead of reacting emotionally, we analyze situations calmly. Second, secondly, is that it reduces bias in decision making. By being aware of our emotions, it prevents us from making impulsive decisions. Instead, we should focus more on the logical reasoning, which ensures more objective outcomes. Last but not least, is that it improves conflict resolution. By understanding emotions, it allows us to navigate disagreements constructively, which leads to better negotiations and workplace harmony.
So, good afternoon, lecturer. Today I'm gonna talk about the power of emotional detachment or in discussion. Keeping emotion in check allow us to engage in discussion with an open-minded. Strong emotional reaction can create biasness, making it harder to fairly evaluate different viewpoint. By staying calm and composed, we avoid feeling personally attacked, leading to more constructive conversation and intellectual growth. So, in professional setting, whether in business, academy, or debating, maintaining emotional control is the key. Letting emotion take over can cause conflicts, misunderstanding, or even harm our credibility. A balanced, logical approach ensures respectful and productive discussion, fostering a culture of objectivity and effective problem solving. So I'll pass to the next person and she will end up our conclusion.
Hi, my name is Pham Chenang. So I'll be proposing an alternative perspective by integrating emotion intelligence into critical thinking. Means recognizing how our emotion shape our decision instead of relying solely on logic. We can develop self-awareness and question how our feelings influence our judgment. Empathy is a key. It helps us to see beyond just numbers and data. For example, imagine an employee who constantly misses deadlines and makes errors in reports. Logically, terminating an employee would be the best solution. However, by applying emotional intelligence, the manager could discover the employee might be struggling with mental health issues or lacks of proper training. Therefore, instead of firing them, offering support and development opportunities could lead to an improved performance and long-term outcome. So the solution is to balance logic with emotional intelligence. We can make decisions that are not just effective but also sustainable. Thank you.
In conclusion, critical thinking is not just about logic or emotions alone. It's about finding the right balance between the two. While logic helps us analyze facts and make reasoned decisions, emotional intelligence ensures that our choices are ethical, empathetic, and practical in real world situations. Overemphasizing either aspect can create blind spots, but integrating both allows for more effective problem solving, stronger communication, and better collaboration. Ultimately, the best decisions are made when we apply both critical thinking and emotional intelligence together. Thank you.